as far as the guy's not practicing today, Chris Jones has a groin spasm. He won't practice. Pacheco with quad contusion. And then Rasheed's got a little bit of a hamstring that he tweaked in the game. And then Legarius with the calf will give him time to let that heal through there. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Chargers. You know, Giff has been put in that position as a head coach. The guys are playing hard for him. And, you know, that's we got to have a good week of preparation. I'm going to go ahead and Pat won't play. So Blaine will take over at that spot. And then we'll rotate the other guys in as we go. So, but we look forward to the challenge of getting ready, and we got to make sure that we have a good week of preparation. That time's yours.
Coach, you have a couple of players in the depth weren't practicing. Is it best to keep them completely out of the game, or do you want to rotate them as well?
Yeah, I want them to rehab and get themselves ready to go as needed, you know. So, but no difference. Stay aggressive on the rehab part of it, and we go from there.
You have a couple guys who are close to like milestones or incentives. Is that a priority this week, getting those guys in those numbers?
Yeah, it depends, you know. Depends on what the milestone is.
Let's say it's an 8th straight 1,000-yard season.
We'll see how all that goes.
Do they have, what's the conversation like when you have those?
Probably one-sided.
Andy, it certainly seemed like some quick read stuff on Sunday, maybe some just quicker stuff in general. Was that by design, and is that something you can see moving forward?
Yeah, listen, they gave us an opportunity to do that. It depends on the defense that you're playing. So they were going to take away some of the deep stuff, and it gave us a chance to get the ball out fast and do that part. But it just depends on the defense.
Andy, will the Dukin going to be up on Sunday?
Yes.
What have you seen from him in the last year, since training camp?
Yeah, listen, he works hard. He works hard every day at working to improve his game. He's obviously in all the meetings. And then I think the training camp time that he got to play was valuable for him. And then the scout team stuff, we try to, if a play is similar to what we run, we try to call it that way and run it that way. So the defense gets a real fast look at something that the other side knows. So.
You're going to try to get him in the game?
I don't know about that. I just have to see how things go.
Andy, you got a lot of guys that are trying to impress you and the coaching staff to get some play time into playoffs with this game. What do you want to see out of those guys that are kind of the back end that are going to get this opportunity Sunday?
Yeah, well, they're going to be front end and back end playing, so you can't have everybody not play. So, but I expect them. Yeah, it's a way to build your resume in this league, and gives you an opportunity to also strengthen our team as we go into the playoffs with guys with a little more experience gained in a game like this. So that's invaluable.
Andy, you've been in this situation before, the game not mattering so much. Is it a little more difficult maybe this time around because your offense is still in flux, or maybe a work in progress? Is it you tempted a little bit more to maybe try to play some more guys?
Well, it helped that we played, okay this past game for sure. And I'm not worried about that, though. No, I just want to, make sure that we're ready when that time comes, and then this group's ready for right now. So this is not a less important game. It's just different guys in important positions playing the game and playing well. So it's you don't just throw these games out. That's not what we're doing with that. We want to play well.
Sorry, what's the practice week going to look like for Pat and guys like him who aren't gonna play on Sunday? Are they gonna get any work, or is this gonna be a?
Yeah, they'll get work, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, as long as they're healthy to get out there, they'll get work, yeah.
How much
Do you
is
have-
your, go ahead.
Do you have other guys, whether it's coaching staff in the building that's sort of devoted to maybe whether it's self-scouting, how you treat a bye week? I mean, that's something different than what would usually be the case.
Yeah, well, the important thing is that we get this one where we are good with it. And then I've got some of the assistants looking at the other things, the possibilities. But the guys that are in charge of these different areas for this game are focused in and on that and doing that. And so, you know, you want to do well in this game. You want to do well, and that's how we go about it. Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of what I was curious about too, was just how much resources do you dedicate to looking towards next week, knowing, you know, there's 5 different teams that you could face?
Yeah, well, a couple of the possibilities you already know. So you can spend less time on that, but you know, these other guys that are doing that are capable of doing that. They're in that position where they stay ahead every week for us anyways. So now they've got a couple more teams that they have to stay ahead of. That's all right, spend the time at it and do it, dig in, and then you can give us the information down the road. But that's what they do anyways, you know, the quality control guys.
Coach, you speak about the milestones of the players. This is your 18th 10-win season, of course, with 2 different organizations. I know you don't like to talk about yourself, but how often do you look back at your accomplishments in this league?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look back. That's dangerous in this business,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
very dangerous. So I look forward, and someday when I'm done, I guess then I can look back. But the only time I look back is if there was a good play back there that we want to use coming up. You know? So, but that's about it. Yeah.
Couple more guys.
How about Blaine's season? We obviously don't get to see him much. We don't see him in practice at all, but
Yeah.
just, and we're gonna talk to him here in a minute.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, sure.
thought on
Well,
Blaine.
you know, he works so stinking hard in practice. It's great to have that opportunity to go out and play. I mean, he's been a starter in the league, and so you have confidence that he knows what to do and go in there and will do well. But from a personal standpoint, I'm sure he's excited about the opportunity to get in and play instead of going out here and practicing, you know, every day. That's that's what he does. He's now to have a chance to do it in a game is great.
We've seen veterans over and over being quarterback behind Patrick. How's Blaine been that veteran and a steady voice for Patrick over his course of the season?
Yeah, no, he's done a nice job. You know, he's done well with it. I checked with Chad, and he and Chad have a relationship. Chad thought he'd be good for that position. I didn't know Blaine, you know, like I knew Chad, but he's jumped in and done a nice job with all that. Yeah.
Coach, for the guys who aren't playing like Patrick, how do you want them to prepare for the playoffs when they're also resting, avoiding injury, and kind of on the sideline? Are they doing more of the mental thing, or what is the key to getting ready for a playoff game when you're not playing this weekend?
Yeah, so from his standpoint, he'll look at some of the teams. That's what he does. You know, you're not going to not have that happen. You know, the thing you got to do, you got to practice. Go out and practice. Do your thing there. Help out the guy. Help out Blaine when he's in there, like he helps you out. And so he's got to make sure he studies this opponent. Make sure he has that down too. And that's what you do. You only have so many elevations. So you know, if Blaine goes out and tweaks his ankle, then you got to be ready to, you know, put the uniform on and at least be out there and in a position. So that's how that goes. But where you can function.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay.
How are you doing?
So I am starting this week. I don't know if Coach Reid told you.
He said you'd be excited.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity. And I told the young guys out at walkthrough, just have fun. A lot of guys are going to have a great opportunity to go play for the first time, make a start for the first time, right? And I've been fortunate to start quite a few games in the NFL, and these opportunities don't come around very often. And just make the most of them, have fun, cut it loose, and just go play ball.
Blaine, if you have to play in the playoffs, if you're needed then, like how much will this help getting some work?
It's a great dry run. Ultimately, the reason we play football is to play in the games, right? And it's a great opportunity not only for myself, but a lot of guys to maybe play in different positions that they have been throughout the year. Justin Ross, KT, McCole, like these guys are going to play a significant amount this week. And it's just great to get more reps under your belt. So when your number's called, if it is called in the playoffs, we're ready to go.
We don't get to see a lot of you, obviously, since training camp. How do you feel like you've grown, even late in your career?
I feel good. It's a new system, right? So you're always working through things, and the installs are new every week, and it's just about how you prepare throughout the week, kind of week in and week out, because the game plans do change every week. And the more or longer you're in a system, the more comfortable you are. So it's been called 20, 25 weeks, including the summer, in this system, so it's going really well.
You mentioned the guys like Justin Ross and KT, and your position, you probably work a lot more with that group than the starters, as far as just running the scout team and everything. So how much more beneficial is it to you to have the guys you work with all year round?
Yeah, it's fun when you go out there and actually play meaningful football with guys that, like you said, you've gotten reps with on scout team, and now it's just kind of taking the work from the practice field to the game field, and just, like I said, go out, play fast, have fun, and those guys are phenomenal athletes. They've all played a lot of high-level football, and there's a lot of talent that they all have, and it's going to be fun to watch them play on Sunday.
Justin's probably the one that's most intriguing because we haven't got to see a lot
Yeah.
of him. You've seen a lot of him.
And he's doing a great job, and we make jokes, like you look back, he hasn't played that much football since his freshman year of college, but the amount of athletic ability that he has is extremely rare. I've been around the game for a long time, and seeing what he can do in and out of cuts, catching the football, making plays, it's fun to watch. So just getting these reps throughout the week in practice and the game's going to be extremely valuable for him as kind of his career progresses.
What changes have you seen in the Chargers defensively since you played them a few weeks ago?
It just depends. They're playing a little more split safety zone. They're playing fast. They're playing hard. And, when I've been on teams where coaching staffs change mid-year, right? And so a lot of the coaches, a lot of these players are playing not only for their jobs, but for their resume for next year, right? So this team's not going to lay down. They're playing extremely hard. They played Denver tough last week, and they're going.
Blaine, this goes back several weeks, but when Patrick in Denver was not feeling well and wasn't at the top of his game, how close do you think you were to entering that game?
I think as a starter, there's a lot of pride at being a starter, right? You never want to come out of a game, and, he was a little under the weather, and I was too. I think I was probably the one that gave it to him, but so we were both kind of battling there in Denver, not feeling good. It was cold, and yeah, that was a tough one.
Blaine, you've been around the league a long time, man. Of course, you know about guys that need, at the end of the season, they have personal goals, want to get their statistical in those categories. How much are these guys in your ear this week? Just to stay within the system.
The best part about the culture that we have here, there's a lot of selfless individuals. I know you're getting at Trav. He's 16 yards away from 1,000. We all know that. But that's not how Trav plays. He wants team success first, and he's always been that way. He genuinely loves football, and if he wants to play, he'll play. And if Coach Reid's decision to have him rest, he's going to rest. And ultimately, that's on Coach Reid. But if we're out there, we're going to do our damn best to get him 17 yards.
What would it mean to you, Blaine, if you are able to do that for him?
It'd be a lot of fun. I think he's got a big string of 1,000-yard seasons in a row. So
this would be 8 in a row.
And no tight ends come even close to that. And now you're getting into the receiver talk. The Mike Evans of the world, who's done 10 or 11 straight now this year. And that's a rare, special group of individuals, Hall of Fame individuals, to kind of have that run in a row. So he may say it doesn't mean anything, but it means something for the quarterback and for this organization to get him that 1,000 yards.
You mentioned Travis. Rashid's another guy. Reid wants to get there, I'm sure.
Yeah, and just kind of the way Rashid's taken off this last half of the year is awesome. And that's a credit to this coaching staff preparing him to be ready to play 17 games because it's a long season in the NFL. Coming from college, it's 12 games. So a lot of those guys you see hit a rookie wall and start fading in the second half of the year, but he's done a great job and really kind of caught his stride here going to the playoffs.
Blaine, big picture quarterback question. So Tom Brady, I think you're friends with him.
Yes.
If he talked about how rage and anger helped him, like he talked about like how those emotions were good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious in your career, quarterbacking and being around great quarterbacks, like how you think about those specific emotions, the rage and anger, and how it might clarify some people's game.
Well, I think rage and anger, if you can bottle that up, if you can harness the emotion and channel it positively, you know, that's the best thing. And Tom always said, he's like, I have no friends on the opposing team, and it held true. I mean, he genuinely did not like the opposing team. Now, after the game, he may shake their hands if we win, but he genuinely, that's how he played the game, and he played the game at a damn high level for 22, 23 years, and that worked for him. Now, every person, every personality, every human being is different, how they get themselves ready to play, how they prepare throughout the week, and like you said, rage and anger fit him well because he knew how to channel that and bottle that up and played the best football ever for 2 decades. So everybody's different, but you know, he channeled that pretty well.
Like, not that you're gonna give us your game plan, but will this be using your strengths? I mean, is this a game where, you know, you're gonna use the things that have worked for you and maybe a little different than what, you know, would be if Patrick were starting?
Yeah, it's a great question, and we had to talk with the coaching staff. There's a system in place here. We run Coach Reid's offense, and ultimately that's what we are going to run. Now, every quarterback is different. Every quarterback does things differently. Some things better than others, et cetera, and we're just going to run our offense. Hopefully throw to the open guy, run the ball well, and score some points.
Do you throw the ball different? Guys have dropped passes when they've been tight spirals coming out of them 5 miles an hour.
You know, every quarterback throws the ball differently, and there's a lot of things that go into whether a pass is completed or not. And you know, it may look very easy to an outsider looking in, but there's a lot of things that kind of go into it: windows, tight coverage, hands getting knocked down. So, you know, our receivers are going to do a great job this week, and I have full confidence in them.
Blaine, you mentioned running Andy Reid's offense. Does that mean no quarterback sneaks?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll maybe do the little tush push or something, but hope not.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Blaine, good to see you.
Go ahead for Mike. Mike, what's it gonna be like just to, final week of the season? Starters, a lot of starters won't be playing. Have you been in this type of game before? And what's it like?
Yeah, last year was kind of like that for me in Tampa. We kind of clinched the division, and we played, I think it might have been Atlanta maybe, for our last game, and I kind of was a little banged up, so I didn't play that game, but kind of like the same thing here. But we see what the coaches say. It's on the coaches, so kind of prepare how we play, how we prepare any other day, any other week. So prepare to win, come out there and win, and play football.
Have you been informed, by the way, whether or not you'll be playing?
No, I mean, like I say, it's coach's decision. Probably gotta ask the coach. So if I'll play, if you want me to play, and it's whatever.
What has it been like these past couple weeks to kind of see Brian go down and them have to lean on you a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. He's a good football player. Anytime one of our players goes down, it's big. But, you know, they trust in me. I trust in our team. I trust in our defense and our scheme. And feel like that's what we brought me here for, you know, to fill in roles like that. And don't miss a beat, don't miss a step. Like I said, a guy like that going down is big, but just step in and play my role and try to make as many plays as possible.
When someone is injured, we don't really see them. How's Brian doing? How is he attacking stuff behind the scenes?
He's doing great. He's doing real good. He got to go back home to Cincinnati to see his family and everything, so that's good. I've been talking to him all the time. He got to be in our locker room for the game, which was big. Talked to us, gave us a pregame speech for the game, so it's good having him.
When you say us, who do you mean, the defensive backs?
Yeah, defensive backs, yeah.
Okay.
DBs.
Any kind of, what was his message?
Just go out there and play strong. You know, don't worry about any outside noise. You know how I had that leading up to the game, but I mean, just saying, you know, we all got to lean on each other on the back end because you know they go test our DBs with the you know the receivers they have and you know the explosive players they have. So just tell them to get our mindset right, and which we did. So came out there with a right mindset.
What was just the emotions of the game? I mean, obviously Chase said it looked like obviously Chase and Legarius were pretty emotional throughout the game. What were just the emotions of those matchups?
I mean, it's an emotional game. I mean, and then anytime you have like a guy like that, you know, chipping before the game. I mean, we handled it the right way. You know, we let him talk before the game, and we handled it on the field. You know, I barked a little bit during the game, which is, you know, I'm from Cincinnati, so I got to give him a little bit. But I mean, we handled it the right. I felt like we handled it the right way. They got me on the personal foul, which is whatever. But we came up with the win, and we did a pretty good job.
You mentioned the emotions. Those have kind of spilled over a couple times here late on the sideline for you guys as well. I mean, it's not because you're not playing well, right? Defensively, you guys are putting up great numbers. What's the emotions like, and what's maybe kind of been behind, you know, some of the guys barking at each other?
I mean, it's football. I mean, you know, offense gonna carry their load. We gotta worry about our side of football. I mean, I've been watching the Chiefs for many years, and you've seen the explosive offense, you know, scoring points after points. I mean, it's not gonna be like that every game. It's not gonna be like that every season. So we gotta know that we gotta focus on our side of football because we can't control what they could do, and they can't control what we can do. So we gotta lean on each other, offense, defense, special teams, and just play our side of football and just help each other any way as possible. And we know they get the job done. They know we you know come to work each and every Sunday. So that's all we gotta do.
Well, and like I brought up the point, statistically, you guys are one of the best defenses in football. But you know, to see you guys still be that emotional to where you're going at, is the emotion a big part of what's made you guys successful?
For sure. Emotion is definitely a big part. We want to also be the number one defense. We also want to be, you know, top defense and, you know, create turnovers, sacks, turnovers, any way possible to be that number one defense. And just to get the ball back to our offense in many points as possible. Like I said, we just go out there and play as best football as we can.
Couple more.
You had a play early in the game. You made a big hit. And you kind of stayed down for a minute, at least on television. It left a shot of you, and you were still down on the ground. Just taking an inventory of
just a little bit.
What was going on?
Just a little bit. I got hit a little bit. I think that's when I had hit running back Chase Brown, and got caught up in the pile a little bit. But I was more so I was just stuck on the bottom of the pile, so I kind of just like couldn't get up. You got like 300-pounders laying on me and stuff like that, so couldn't really get up.
You guys had a chance to finish the year as the #1 scoring defense in the league. Was there anything back in OTAs that you first realized this defense could be special?
Yeah. I mean, we was making plays after play, and then going against our offense, going against Patrick Mahomes, and having, you know, me guarding Travis Kelce, he's working me, you know, giving us great looks and everything like that. And I just seen something special from literally day one. And, you know, from meetings, you know, Coach Spags really harped on, you know, being a focal point in defense, you know, just helping the offense out and making plays. And didn't even have Chris at that point, so you know, having Chris back was obviously big. But I mean, we're not just like a one-man group. We're not a one-man show. We got, you know, players from the D line to the linebackers to the secondary. We just always play fundamentally sound defense.
What makes Steve Spagnuolo what's different about him maybe than other guys? Like, what do you see in them?
I would say first and foremost, he's like a player's coach. He's real like hands-on, and it's not many. It's not a lot of DCs like that. I just feel like he's real hands-on. Relates to his players really well. Talks to them about life things, not just football, and that's one thing I really appreciate about him. And he breaks down things a lot. He has a great game plan every week. You got to kind of study like every day with his defense. It's really crazy, but that's a good thing about him. Keeps offense on his toes. He don't really know what we're doing. We got a lot of adjustments and things that we can match to our different offenses, things like that. So I feel like he just has a great game plan, and he's a real smart coach.
Anyone else? Last one. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you.